What's up, everybody? Today, I want to chat a little bit about how to start a bicycle brand. Despite this silly name, this silly title, this year is 2023. It's 10 years of Zerouno as a company on the market. Yeah, everything started in 2013, right before all this, wide level bicycle brands and stuff like that. I founded this company in Los Angeles and in 2013, and we started working for third party, developing high performance bicycle for other brands, for two like of the top brands that you can imagine on the market, developing their racing products. Most of the brands, they don't sell the products that even if they looks the same, the one on the professional teams, they are kind of different. And not just the frame. This has happened, all over the industry, and it's happening for tires, suspension, for everything, including us. For our factory team, we have multiple parts and stuff that they are prototype from us and from other brands as well. Stuff that they're not for sale, they may be for sale in a couple of years, they may not gonna see the light in the market. And so this is the way we started, pretty much for the first 2 years, probably by from 2013 to mid 2015. Would be just no out there, no website, no social media, just working for a third party company and stuff like that. And because that was but the beginning, the idea was to start developing and selling high-end bicycle. And after researching and studying and partnering with other brands in the past, I thought we were ready to do so. But at the beginning, I prefer to do the things right and go out in the market when we already have that knowledge and that know-how about high-end bicycle. Because today, you see out there a lot of bicycle brands. Every day I see new ones. Before, I used to be 24/7 out there on the market, scouting and checking. I know pretty much all the brands on the market. Right now it's pretty much impossible, because there's a lot of brands that they're shutting down doors, and some other brands that are coming out from out of nowhere. There's a motocross coach down in Florida that a couple of months ago he decided to start his bicycle brand. Now you see the bicycle brand, and depending on the budget that somebody has, it seems like even structure and everything as a brand. Of course, the bikes, the frames are coming wide level from China that you can buy all over the internet today. It's so easy to just put your name wherever, just come out with a name, put it there, put a logo, and that's it. You already have a bicycle brand. But that's the same reason why those brands, they are surfing the oil of the moment. But at the end of the day, most of them, they are closing after just maybe 1 year or a couple of years, or 5 years down the road, because they're not considering what it takes. And also, they don't have any control over quality, technology, so they cannot innovate anything. They always stick to any wide level, low price and performance bicycle. So if you are looking into some very accessible, I don't want to say cheap because I hate the word cheap, but accessible bicycle or frame, wherever, that's probably the way to go. That's also why there's a lot of competition on there. There is a lot of brands like Cube in the market, or other budget friendly brand out there, and the competition is very high. And so that's why, as a Zerouno, we over the year we start getting higher and higher and higher as a product. because in that segment there is less competition because very few have control over product, including the big names, big brands that have fantastic marketing, because most of them, they are owned by investors, and so they have a lot of budget, and they can have a lot of show surrounding the brands and all this stuff. The best top rider, the best infrastructure, the best blah blah blah. And so the only way you have to compete is with the product. But if you come out also with like not control over the product, over the quality, and especially the performance, in my vision, in my point of view, there is no way to go on the market. You just come out, you sell a few frames here and there to your friends, to your neighbor, people a couple over the internet, and that's it. I mean, to create the brand awareness, to create a successful brand, not just bicycle but in general, today's markets are so saturated that if you offering something that is slightly better, slightly different, it's hard, it's tough. It's tough if you want to make it working for real, if you take it like seriously, not just like any I see now even pro tour retired riders, they have their own brands in here and there all the times, but how much effort they put in it. You see them on the market like a couple of years, 3 years, and then they're going down. Even the most famous one that I don't want to mention right now. So it's very important to have control over the product, over pretty much everything. All the process today's days, if it's possible, it's even better. And so we started, and in 2015, finally come out with only 3 frame. And I remember clearly, of course, it was all focused on performance, and we come out with the road bike frame, like rim brakes. And we were one of the first brands of the market coming out with disc brakes on the road bike, and then we have a hardtail mountain bike. We quickly understood that if you want to come out with a consistent product, you need to have your carbon lamination patented. And so this is like for Specialized, for example, is FACT, and then for Trek is OCDL and stuff like that, right? R is called Lunar, and under Lunar we patented our carbon lamination, which is like write down a recipe of a cake. In that way, it doesn't matter if I do it here in the house, if my neighbor do it for me, if in South Africa doing it for me, in China doing it for me, wherever they do it, it come out the same result. So this is very, very key, very important. At the time you want to create, something very consistent in terms of reliability and performance. So having this settled, we come out with this 3 frame. We put it down on online only in the US, and we saw, we're gonna start selling it in the US and a little bit in Europe, but like Latin America and Asia quickly pick it up very fast. So we've never been owned by any investment group. We don't have any investors, and so developing a new market is always investing before you invest, and then you have return of investment like sales and stuff like that. So having those markets picking down so quickly, we decided to put effort and focus on those markets, especially Japan. For some reason, pick it up. We start selling a lot of road bike, especially over there. Latin America as well. Starting having a lot of riders, teams, stores selling the bikes and stuff. And at the same year, in 2015, we start with our factory team. We started a factory team with riders. By the time I was living in Pasadena, California, like northern east Los Angeles. And I saw guys on the trails, and they say, "Hey, you wanna join the team? You wanna join the team?" And put together like 5 riders, and those riders just won the national champion the first year in 2015, and ended up signing for other brands and stuff like that, other teams. And was speechless and say, "Wow, there is so much potential, right?" And the US, especially, there is not so many teams out there, not very well structured, especially for mountain bike. And so I said, "Wow, this is the way to go." And so it created a lot of expectation and infrastructure surrounded the team and the factory team. And many people, when they see a frame out there, like even if they have it in the hand, or they go to a bicycle shop and they see a frame, even worse, online they see a frame, most people, they don't have the vision to see the complete bike out of that frame. And so we start, receiving a lot of inquiry, and people say, "Hey, why you don't sell a complete bike? Hey, I don't know how to do with the frame. I like it, but can you sell a complete bike?" And so it became a team. So in 2016, we decided, okay, let's, reach out to all the brands and of component brands, and start, dressing up those frames and sell complete bike. We were already working with a couple of brands to develop the frame, because of course the frame, you can develop the frame as good as you want, but then you need to test it. On paper, always, looks perfect, looks good, but then you need, the reality when the frame is on the road or eating, trails, is a different story. So you need, testing teams. And so since we were selling only frame, of course we already have, all the other parts to try to test the bikes, but we were normally just buying wheels and buying, which it was good, but not that good, because if you don't have the mathematic of each component on the bike, you don't know exactly what's missing in the whole bike, because the bike is a system, right? It's not just the frame, it's not just the wheels, it's all together with the rider. Actually, when we are talking about aerodynamics, for example, most brands, for some reason, they tell you this bike is more aerodynamic, and they show you, the picture or the video of the bike on the wind tunnel, stuff like that. Yeah, great. The cable, a 4 millimeter cable, right now it's running inside, so it's more aerodynamic. But behind that cable, normally you have a gigantic quadrips, gigantic legs from the rider. So what's the purpose of having the cable, the 4 millimeter cable, riding inside versus outside, when you have, that gigantic dude riding the bike? So it's a system. It's a system of riders with helmet, with shoes, with everything, because that's the way you ride, right? The way you race, the way you ride. So system bikes and itself, and system bicycle plus rider when it comes to aerodynamics study. And so we start working with multiple brands, but for that reason, I thought, especially for wheels, for example, wheels is a very critical component in the bike. Beside the frame, it's pretty much the most important component of the bike. You can run an entry level group set, you can run, aluminum handlebar or whatever, but the frame and the wheels are the most important parts in the bike. 100%. So, having said that, we decided that I decided to create another brand, which is called Spaziale. Uh, Spaziale it's been an OEM brand. It's, of course, we're selling to anybody that want to purchase one of our wheels and stuff, but it's been OEM brands because I see it was much, much better on the performance level to develop a system like bicycle and wheels. Besides that, of course, we create, the handlebars, the seat posts, all everything carbon made. It's under the name of Spaziale, besides the frame, of course. And so Spaziale is making, everything out of the bike in carbon fiber, and in this way, this was a key change in our brand, because in this way we have full control of the development of the frame and the bike, but the bicycle in general. And the wheels is the very key components. With that, studying those numbers and carbon fiber lamination on the wheels, testing multiple kind of wheels, we are able today to provide very very top of the line bikes, for thanks to that, thanks to Speciale. And since the number we manufacture and we don't sell so many like to other OEM brands or stuff like that, it will be cheaper for us buying OEM, any other brand like Mavic or Fulcrum or any other wheels brand, also very well positioned brand. But in that case, we will be like any other brands, and also we will have the full control of the technology and the high performance of the bike like we have today. Being able to study the whole system of the carbon fiber system, because today's many bikes are good, but it takes just a little bit to make big changes, to make big difference in terms of performance. And so sometimes, including the handlebar, the flexibility of each part in the frame, the way they flex, controlled flex of each part of the bike is important. It's important to have more traction, to have more performance in general. A frame doesn't have to be stiff. This need to have stiff. It needs to be stiff in certain areas, but need to be flexible in other. Need to be comfortable in other. It's a lot of it's more the complicated than what it sounds. But each tube of the frame have a specific job to do, have a specific rigidity to achieve, to reach, and same way the wheels, everything else, including the pressure that you're running on your tires, which is subjective versus objective performance on the bike. And so that's also the reason why the top Pro Tour team, their bicycle are not the same that you can purchase on the store. This is all the marketing structure that they want you to believe that you can buy the same bike out of the store, but the bike out of the store is made for 1 million people, like for any kind of riding skills, for any kind of weight, for everything. And if the paint after 1 year or after 3 years will start peeling off, the customer will want to claim the warranty. So this cannot be happening. And if you're riding like the rider is 250 pounds and the frame crack, you need to get a new frame on warranty. So it's a business versus a team. There are two different stuff. Business needs to be efficient and the production and everything, especially if you are owned by an investment group. All those stuff need to be very efficient. But the other side, the performance of the team is not looking to a budget, is looking to a performance, which is two different things. And so that's why the riders have specific bikes and frames for them, including sometimes suspension, hydraulic suspension. And here beside me have something like that. So that suspension is just is specifically made for rider weight and riding and skills and stuff like that. So it's different, the things that you can sell. So in Zerouno, we are like halfway between standard and generic product to a very specific and customized product. Especially if you check in our website, our customization, like Sumizura, our program that give you the possibility to customize everything. That's already different, because in that way we build the frame, we build the bicycle specifically for you. We normally also do kind of an interview. If many riders already know what they want, but if not, we do an interview. We check the details, which bike, how we can build a bike that can help you to reach that goals that you have, and reach that goals that you have, and reach that goals that you have. And so this is how we've been working in. Sorry. this is the way we've been working, and this is the way we have been developing the brand. um, with that being said, this year is 10 years. Honestly, it will be kind of 8 years since the brand is on the market, but it's been a long journey. It's been pretty great in many ways. And we it's been a roller coaster for sure, especially since COVID, like 5 years ago. It's been going up and down. uh, and so during that period as well, we decided to start with we have a lot of partnership. I love partnership, and specifically for the frame parts, like aluminum parts, for example, or titanium. We always come out with titanium axles for the bike, like aluminum CNC parts on the frames and stuff like that. And so instead of just giving out there with the Zerouno logo and just part of the brand, we created another brand called Luce, or Lucy, whatever it is your pronunciation, but it's supposed to be Luce. And under the name of Luce, we do hubs. We do everything in aluminum you can imagine, including bearings with some wheels. For example, we partnered with the ceramic spit, also with some bottom bracket solution. But the solution on the bottom bracket is very unique. It's very great. Of the Luce, we are the only brand of bottom brackets that have a unique monolith tube inside the bottom bracket in aluminum with 4 bearings. So it's very high end. There's nothing like that in the market. And right, appreciate. Now it's already more than 20 minutes video. I would just The idea is talk a little bit how Zerouno started, and more than how to start a bicycle brand. Whoever wanted to start a bicycle brand, the question would be why starting a bicycle brand. Because starting a real bicycle brand, it's a lot of time, energy, and money. That's for sure. For making one frame, the investment is around 100K just for one frame. But it's not just about the investment in terms of money, but just about time, because you need to make at least 8 frame, average 8 frame, like prototype to test and to go out there before finding the right one. And so it's the time to develop. And right now we're coming out with a new Supra, like mountain bike enduro. It took us 2 years developing it, and so it's a lot of time if you want to do very high end bike, very high end frame. For sure, it's very important to keep testing, to come out with the right technology, and that takes time and effort and energy. So besides then the products, you need to come out with a strategy like marketing, partnership, distribution. It's a big deal, and like I said, it's been a fun ride. It's been pretty wild out there for sure. And so I appreciate to all the customers that I ever purchased a Zerouno bike over the year. Appreciate you guys are watching the video today and following our social media and all the Zerouno family. I very appreciate that, because I know it takes. That's why the motto of the brand is "Follow no one," because it's so simple to just walk down the street and walk into any bicycle store and purchase a bike, and then normally have Track, Specialized, Scott, all the same brands all the time. Takes a little bit of a thinking. To go there and instead make your research and check what actually works for you, check what you really like. Instead you're just walking into the bike store and choosing by budget and color, availability by the time. So appreciate that. Appreciate all those people that take the efforts to make the research online and check what they are for real, the top brands in the market, and make that step forward. All right. I appreciate cheers. Stay tuned with us. Subscribe, to this channel to see more videos and more, information about the brands, and not just the brand, but a lot of stuff. Right now, we have in models, we have in other brands and other part testing. We have the team riders, racers, and lifestyle video coming out pretty much on a daily basis. So stay tuned. Cheers. Thanks for watching the video.